Why should we all care about equitable economic opportunity?
You know, when we talk about equity, sometimes it misses the point because we're talking about the equitable distribution of resources. We talk about fairness. We talk about money and wealth. But for me, plainly stated, equity is making sure you have the conditions so your families can thrive. And so
the Greater Milwaukee Foundation is a place where Milwaukee gathers and has gathered for many years. We're over 100 years old, and generous donors have always used the Greater Milwaukee Foundation to advance their charitable and philanthropic goals.
Milwaukee for All was a live event, and what it was about was really to bring voices to the table, opportunity for all of us to really identify some issues, concerns, and have unapologetic, uncomfortable conversations and see how can we work together collectively to find solutions.
It's absolutely exhausting for all of us, white, black, brown. And yet, if our democracy is to work, if it is to deliver on its potential, this is the work that we have to do.
As I really appreciated his thoughts about no longer focusing on generosity, but really trying to be strategic and looking for an impact that would have some kind of sustainable effort for communities throughout the people, the areas that we're serving.
Why racial equity is important to the type of work not only that the Greater Milwaukee Foundation does, but for our community as a whole, is starting that conversation. It's not the only thing, and it's not the end-all be-all when we talk about equity, racial equity. Those things are words. What happens is you have to take action.
I feel like me being a part of the conversation just demonstrates how serious GMF is about what they say. They could have had anyone do or lead that conversation, and I was new to GMF, and they emailed me and asked me, and I was really excited to participate. So I just feel like it shows that they're serious about what they say and are really trying to implement different things and not have conversations about different people or not have conversations about different things without including people that it reflects.
We put out a new research brief on this, creating a reparative culture, a culture of wanting everyone to thrive, having a Milwaukee for all. That's the kind of culture we need because we see what exclusive culture can do.
All the children are well means that life is good. It means that the daily challenges of existence do not preclude proper caring for its young. It means that
everyone knows that our littlest learners, 0 to 3, are the most important aspect of our future. All children ought to have the same opportunity to start life on the best foot with regard to early care and education.
Every child should be able to receive high quality education, nurturing place, rich environment, based on, that is a child and it's important in their life matter, and every child should succeed, not just because they're a child from somebody who's wealthy. That shouldn't matter. We should help every child succeed regardless of the parents' income, status, or knowledge or education.
Well, one of the most, I think, gratifying thing about bringing 1,500 people from all walks of life, every neighborhood in Milwaukee, around these conversations is that people told us, number one, that they deepened their understanding about racial equity. They made a personal commitment to do something different, to use their own resources, their own position to get more deeply involved. And then third, I think collectively, we took action around something that we had prioritized in the community, which is early childhood care and education. There was such momentum around that discussion and such willingness and eagerness to do something that many people signed a letter to the City Council to use the public funding that was coming through the Recovery Act to focus on early childhood care and education. So that's collective action. There is power in collective action and advocacy. And we think that that is part of our role in reimagining philanthropy.
I'm excited. So we have a great mission and vision for the city and for the greater Milwaukee area, but I think a Milwaukee for All took it to a whole nother level. Because we've talked about racial equity for years now, and as an organization, we've leaned in, we've partnered with other groups, with other foundations to be able to try to move this work forward. But I think a Milwaukee for All really frames it in a different way, and I think it helps us to build bridges. So when I think about reframing how we do what we do, reimagining what we do as a philanthropy, recentering communities, which is the most important, and also looking at systems change, because if we're going to have an impact and look at racial equity and inclusion, we have to change systems. Well, we can only change systems by engaging the people who are most impacted, not doing things to people or for people, but with people, because they know what they need, and we need to make sure and align with that to make sure we're investing properly.
And so if we want democracy to work, if we want community to be realized and sustained, then we have to think about the role that philanthropy can play in that. And part of that is not that philanthropy needs to just be transformed because we're doing something wrong, but it's because we need to do more, and we can do more.
So there is a seat at the table for everyone. A Milwaukee for All will take all of us to achieve. And I want to invite everyone in every corner to join us in this effort.